Surprise! We're having our book chat today and discussing Manhunt for Ariel's deep dive next week. This is Mallory, and on a scale of 1 to terrifying, I am Sally Finkelstein. My BFF Ariel, is joining me, though I'm sure if you're nice, she won't curse you too hard.
We'll see.
Our Supreme Overlord Carla is here to perform our exorcisms. Good luck to her.
I got this.
We are recording from our library in Jackson County, West Virginia. Zach, the ghoul guy, is joining us from Seattle, Washington.
They call me the ghoul guy.
Should have been Ghoul Boy.
Ghoul boy? What do you mean ghoul boy? I'm a ghoul man.
I'm a real ghoul.
I'm a real ghoul. Oh, this is staying in.
Yep, it is, for sure. Okay, so like I said, we are doing a book chat today. So buckle in. I think a few of us have a couple of books, at least.
Yep.
So, who wants to go first?
I've only got like 1.5, so somebody else probably should go first, or I'll be done here in just a minute.
Okay, let me see. The last one I finished was Manhunt. So
I have like 4, I think.
I also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6.
I think we only got 3.
So we're good.
2 are like short stories, so.
Okay, so I will go last.
Jack, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure, I'll talk about 1 or 2 first, and then finish up the last one. Let me go back here. So, I've read a couple 3 books. Trying to get back to my Goodreads here. I know one of them was called The Wedding People. That's one I just finished up. And the basic premise of that one is that you have this lady. Her name is Phoebe. She's going through some rough times. It's during the pandemic. Her husband just left her for a different woman who they both work with, sort of. Kind of awkward. They're all academics, so they all work in the same department, basically.
They're fired.
Well, I mean, apparently not. Anyway, so her plan is, because she's just like never done anything really for herself, and she just like is kind of too timid, whatever. She puts on her very nice green dress that she has. She goes to a hotel that she has wanted to go to for a long time, and she decides that. Oh, also her cat just died, so I feel it.
Oh,
that's worse
I know,
than
it's
the
way
man.
worse. She goes to this place called the Cornwall Inn, and she decides that she's going to kill herself with her cat's medication.
Wow.
Yeah. But when she gets there, it turns out there's a wedding happening, and the bride meets her in the elevator and finds out that she's trying to kill herself and begs her not to. She ends up not doing it because of she wants to hear what was going on in the wedding outside, because there was like some speech happening or something like that, and she got way too interested. And
Okay, hold up. Pause.
yes.
This woman thought, you know what I'm going to do? Let's ruin this bride's special day and let her know I'm suicidal.
Yes. She definitely did do it, because she's like,
That is a special kind of person.
she's like, I don't care. It's like, I'm going to do something for me for once. This doesn't have anything to do with them. I paid $800 a night for this place. I'm going to go there and go do this because I can't afford
That's
it.
outrageous.
So because she's up at the penthouse, she's got a nice view. Anyway, so as the book goes along, it discusses a bunch of different things about people's relationships, how people are complicated, about how like all this stuff. She gets to know a bunch of these different people at the wedding. She ends up being the best maid. Oh, sorry, was it maid of honor? Best maid. The maid of honor
That's what I was.
for the maid of honor for the wedding. And I don't know, it's just goofy.
Wild. I love it.
It has a very nice little ending. I'm not going to spoil it, but yes.
Wait, did the bride not already have a
The
maid
maid
of honor?
canceled. Said she couldn't go because of I can't remember what reason.
She picked a bad maid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know that picking a suicidal woman's much better, though.
I was probably not.
That you don't know.
What have you got to lose?
Apparently a person.
Yeah, but
They
after the
form sort of
wedding.
like a weird relationship. The bride thinks that she can only really talk to this lady who she met.
What?
like about stuff just because she
now.
could just talk to her easily, and everybody else is like real fake
Yeah.
and whatnot, So they become real close-ish. And the ending is not like she
That's
does meet
pretty
like all the people at the wedding. There's like some sort of a connection between her, the main character, and the groom. And it has a nice ending. I'm going to say that.
I'm sorry.
Are we just talking like platonic connection?
No. They meet
Oh my
Bro.
god!
They meet in the hot tub at like 4 a.m. the night after she...
After the wedding?
No. They meet in the hot tub. So, that's the other thing I didn't say. This lady who is having the wedding, she has spent $1 million on the wedding because it was her father's dying wish, and he left her $1 million for the wedding. And the wedding is actually a week long. Well, 6 days.
Whoa!
It's long.
That's the way to do it.
So this is after the opening...
Celebrate me for a whole week.
It's after the opening ceremony. I don't know what they call
I
it.
just spent like a couple thousand on the wedding and took the rest of it and went on a world vacation.
This is
Wow.
intense.
Well, if it's in stipulations that it has to be the wedding and not the honeymoon,
It was a little
though,
ambiguous.
he's
Everybody
dead.
thought that it was kind of goofy.
If it's, yeah, but people write things in their wills. People are weird. But if it wasn't wrote in specifically,
there could
like
be
that.
a gift card as a present for the bride and groom.
Oh, there we go.
There's ways around stuff. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyway, but
This is outrageous. I don't like this
no.
book at all.
No. This book is very, very good. It is very good. And I'm saying stuff that makes it sound like it's going to be some stupid Hallmark thing where they like get together at the end and all this stuff. That does not happen.
This doesn't even sound like a Hallmark thing. Okay, lady's suicidal. She meets a bride. She steals the bride's
She
groom.
doesn't though. She does
This
not
sounds
steal
like
the bride's
kind of
groom.
Hallmark.
That does not happen. That's what
Mm.
you're
Definitely
worried about
made it seem
happening.
like
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is not what
Just
saying.
happens. There's some subversion of your expectations there.
But there's a strong connection.
That's not platonic.
That's
I thought it was between the two
No.
women.
no. He said the groom.
Oh, the groom.
Yeah, the groom. The groom doesn't
I
even call it the
would-
wedding.
I'd be damned.
What?
Let me tell you what. If a man that I am married met somebody in a hot tub and had a strong, the wedding is off, and he's dead.
But she also then makes her the bride.
Maid of honor.
The maid
Yeah.
of honor.
I can't.
You guys need to read this.
You're
I know.
just coming up with
Gonna
like
have
things
to-
that are
this-
addressed in the book,
Crazy theories.
and it's just
I'm
it's
getting angry.
much better
This
than
sounds
what you were
like
thinking.
the kind of Hallmark movie I would definitely watch.
It's
though.
like it feels like a Hallmark movie.
Hallmarky to me. This is like
It feels like it should be though. Like this sounds better than one.
It's
is what I'm
exactly.
saying.
It's like a Hallmark movie, but it's actually good as opposed to just hot garbage. So it is
Yeah.
a fun book. It is a
I
good
feel
book.
like there's
Is there a lot of romance in this?
No, not really. There's some romance, but not a ton.
Well, that's good.
That's why I'm saying. And then the ending where you think
All right.
that, oh no, the husband and them are gonna get together, or she's gonna get
What is
together
this
with this
called?
other person, and that doesn't happen. It's called The Wedding People. It was good. It's got a 4.22 on
What kind of
Goodreads.
cover is it?
It's
She's
drowning with a bottle of
but
champagne.
she's like,
champagne,
She's got a peace sign.
and she has champagne in the other hand. I love
It's
that.
a fun book. It's
All
a
right,
quick
I'm
read.
in.
I liked it a lot. I was very surprised. I didn't think I was going to like it at all. It sounds stupid to me. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be some dumb, like, whatever character
I'm a
relationship.
market.
It's
I'm a
good.
market,
It's
but yeah. Well, you say a lot of books are good that are garbage.
Well, this one's got 4.22 on Goodreads.
so Goodreads don't mean nothing. Okay, some of my favorite books have like 3 stars or below.
I'm aware. I'm just
Mhm.
saying.
Nobody else can read good books. Apparently.
Anyway, so that's my first book. You want me to do another one now, and then I'll do the last one later?
Sure,
Okay.
if you-
So the other one I read that I think I should discuss. So 2 things. First of all, the reason I haven't read very many books is because I reread all of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and we should have done that before we did the 2 episodes on it. That's why I had to correct things, because I was like, I
Yeah.
just read this, and it's like, this is not quite right. Anyway, Dungeon Crawler Carl
You
holds
read
up.
what?
So good. Again.
Oh, that's the new
No.
one?
I reread
no,
the
he
whole
just reread
series.
the series.
Oh, you reread it. Okay.
I don't think
She's
Mom was
not.
listening.
Claire, she needs her
I-
ears cleaned out or something.
I'm having a day. I'm
No,
sorry. I'm
no.
sorry,
Anyway,
guys.
so yeah, I read one of Matt Dinniman's other books though as well,
Oh, yeah. The kaiju one, right?
Battlefield Surgeon is
Yeah, I want to read that one.
I'm excited to
A
hear
book.
about this.
I gave it 4 stars. I did enjoy the book. Most of it. I'm trying to think of how to describe this. It is very much a horror style thing. It's a lit RPG style too. So it's like sort of in his purview.
Ooh.
The thing is,
I've never read a lit RPG horror book.
yeah, it's not like
That sounds awful.
scary really. It is more just horrific, the stuff that happens in it. There's lots of like
One of my favorite
gross torture stuff.
role-playing games we did was a Cthulhu one, which was
Yeah, it's not that
lot
kind
of
of
fun.
horror either. Not like the psychological stuff. Although there is some like Cthulhu-esque monsters
Wait,
in
okay,
there.
so kaijus. Is it like Godzilla King Kong kaiju or Pacific Rim kaiju?
It's more like Pacific Rim, but not really.
Or
It's
Rampage.
more like Rampage, honestly. Yeah, because there's like a lot of the monsters are just like normal creatures,
Okay.
but they're just real big. There is one that's like a
I love
Cthulhu
that.
monster, though.
Huh.
But the whole point of this book is that you have a guy. He's an artist. He is taken. Basically, he's given a job to paint a mural for $15,000, and he's like strapped for cash. So he goes and he does this thing. He goes into this basically game simulation. Everybody has these like nice simulation things that they can do. You can go play video games or whatever in them, or like experience things. Anyway, and they try to make them as realistic as possible. So the whole premise of this thing is that he goes in there, he gets kidnapped effectively and stuck in there, and he is trying to escape the video game. I'm not going to spoil why he's stuck in
So
there.
this whole book
The whole thing is in the video game.
Okay, cool.
The whole thing is in the video game. He's trying to escape, but the only way to escape is to have the game basically reboot by beating it, right? It'll automatically kick you out of the
This is
the
some
pod
Phineas and Ferb stuff.
if you beat it. And then, so there's one other person in there.
Did you hear that sigh? He's annoyed with us.
Anyway, trying to describe what's happening. Okay, so I'm trying to describe what's happening without like spoiling things. But the main thing is he's trying to get out. Most of this book is very disgusting and very like horrific. There's a lot of torture-y pain type stuff in it. And it's just kind of gross. Especially the first half of the book is real gross and difficult to read and uncomfortable. But it's
Okay,
interesting.
so when you talk gross, I need to know what level of gross I'm getting myself into. Because reading Manhunt, there's one scene where this dude spits in this other person's mouth.
There's not much.
And I wanted
There
to
is
throw
some
up.
spitty stuff, but it's not like that. Okay, yeah, but yeah, in Manhunt, that is
Okay, it's
absolutely
just-
disgusting. That I would say it's on the level of gross as that one, but it's a different kind of gross.
More
It's more
gory
gory,
gross.
gross, and also like the Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon part, the game. It's supposed to be very realistic, like incredibly realistic with its anatomy and
Yeah.
stuff, and its pain thresholds and stuff like that. So they can feel pain in this game, like realistic pain. They've actually dialed it up above 100% for the pain thresholds.
I'm already out.
Anyway,
I'm not.
But-
I mean, I'll
they
probably still
start
read
off
it, but I just mean, like,
inside of the
to play.
kaiju, one of these kaiju, in like the intestines.
Ew,
So
squishy.
it's that kind of gross. You're just like, ugh. And there's a river.
Really makes me think of
There's
Men
a
in Black.
river of dookie just flowing
Yeah.
through.
Ew, did they find
What?
something to float on down?
And I think they just walk through it, if I remember
I need
correctly. It's
Oh,
gross.
man. You need to find a flotation device. Keep your hands and feet in the vehicle at all times.
Yeah, well, they did not have a flotation device. It's not like that scene in Willy Wonka either, though. It's about as scary, though.
Well, darn. Darn.
I know. But anyway, it's a good book, but my God,
I
it's
want
got
to
some
read
like
this.
it's got some messed up stuff that happens. There's one point where he's getting tortured and like little bits of him are all just getting split in half, and it's describing all the little details. I'm just like, oh my God. It's pretty rough.
I need
but
to. Maybe I'll read this after Manhunt.
also, the reason why he is trapped inside is really messed up. Like the whole point of them being in there. It's just Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon.
It's Kaiju Surgeon
Battlefield.
Yeah, Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon.
I was trying to type it in. I was going to say, I know it's on my Goodreads because I saw it and I was like...
Lots of gore, lots of torture. Very gross. It's kind of a longish book, too.
When you said it was...
660 pages.
When you said it was disgusting or gross, the word that came to mind was squishy. And I was like, it really is?
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, there's lots of squishiness in there.
Oh.
Yeah, but I will say the first half of the book, if you guys do read it, is a lot grosser than the rest of the book and more difficult. Once you get sort of used to it, it's not so bad. Like, you get saturated with just, like, the gross goriness. And then you're just like, okay, it's not so bad anymore. But the beginning is really rough.
We don't have it in Libby.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, and I got it from a friend, so I can get you the Friends version if you want.
It's audio?
Yeah. Also, he has a pet tapeworm.
Yes.
He has a pet tapeworm named Banksy. I forgot about that.
Hey, that's kind of cute. I hate worms, but that's kind of cute.
Oh.
Yep.
I just imagine
I think I'm going to pass on this one.
It's not in him though, right?
Oh, it is at the beginning, yeah.
Oh my
does it
God.
grow and he gets it out? And does he put a collar on it?
There's no collar on it.
I need
It
to
does
know.
get out in an unpleasant way.
I'm so done with you.
He also has to feed it, and that's
Oh my
also
God.
very unpleasant.
Dude, he's like Loki in that Ragnarok show. That's how the giant serpent that devours the world type deal. It started off as a tapeworm in his belly, and then he gets it out and throws it in the lake, and then it starts eating people.
I don't think I saw that episode.
A myth.
I know it's not the myth. That's just how Ragnarok went. That's I think, where is that from?
I have no idea.
It's not Norway. I think they were mad about the show, honestly, and it almost got canceled.
I don't know.
It was good though, but it's all in like a different language.
Anyway,
Is it Finland?
could have been.
Maybe, I don't know.
It was an intense book. If you like
I can't wait to
gross,
read it.
gory stuff, it's really good. But just be prepared. There's going to be a lot of gross goriness. And then this is one, after I've read it, I'm like, if next time I like, okay, so people at the thing when we did meet Matt, they were like, so Matt, WTF is up with Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon? Seriously, man? And he's like, yeah, I know. It's, whoa.
That's so funny.
I'm excited.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I've got for right now. I'm reading one other book or two other books, but I haven't finished them yet. Talk about those later.
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and say a couple of them,
Okay.
and then Carla has the one right and a half.
Well, and there's one I don't know if I talked about. I read.
Oh, okay. If you want, you can go ahead and say that one.
It's up to you.
It's a go ahead.
I got some to
Okay.
discuss.
So, let me see. I reread My Lady Jane because I wanted to watch the show. I haven't talked about
Isn't
this, have
this like
I?
the third or fourth time you've read it?
It's only the second time.
No, I'm pretty sure you reread it.
No. Goodreads says it was only the second read. I talk about it a lot because it was freaking funny.
I really
I
feel
did.
like you.
Yeah, because they came out with a show on Amazon Prime, and I was like, I'm going to reread this. And honestly, the book is better. I wouldn't even try the show. I watched 4 episodes of the show, and I was just like, they took too many liberties. Like, you can change
like The
stuff.
Rook.
Yeah, like it's like I don't know. It was just a completely weird dynamic, the whole thing, and I was like, we're trying to make this way more modern, and it was already like a modernized book, like ish anyway. It was like, I don't know, trying too hard. Like, y'all could, the material is fantastic. Why? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So, it's by like 4 different women. There's, 3. So Cynthia Hand, Brodie Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. Essentially, I would call this book, like the humor level is, I would kind of call it like Monty Python, but girls, like for the girls. And like it's just that level of crazy. It's about Lady Jane Grey, and in this version of the history, it's obviously historical fiction, but essentially they say that there were, oh gosh, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, they're magical people that can turn into animals. And there's either those or verities who are, humans that can't turn, and there's a huge war between them, essentially like the religious wars going on at the time. And Jane Grey was queen, I think, for like 3 days. And this is kind of that story leading up to this. She was married off to some dude. As a plot, somebody then wanted to kill the king and marry her to their son so that their son can become king. And it all goes from there. She's married to a man who is a horse. And yeah. Yeah.
This is where centaurs came from.
Yeah.
Oh,
basically. But like he's a horse during the day.
I'm
but
sure he
at
is.
night he's
an animal.
a person. At night he's an actual person.
An anti-werehorse.
But
He's a were-human. Okay, the horse
Maybe.
turns into a human.
Yeah, no, and he can't control it, whereas other of their kind can. Like they can really just change at will, and he can't. Like I'm air quoting for those of you who can't see me, because he definitely can. He just doesn't know how, and he doesn't really want to try because. I mean, really, he hates his family, so why would he want to spend all day with them? That's kind of like the gist of it. I mean, he doesn't know that. He really calls it a curse and says that he can't, but, whatever. It is a fantastical journey. It is absolutely hilarious. The narrator is amazing. I love her. And I think she does the second one, too, which is, I've also read that one, My Plain Jane, and that's about the writing of Jane Eyre. So Charlotte Bront, and that's a crazy thing. She's essentially a ghost hunter in that. It's great. Fantastic. So anyway, those are funny books. Highly recommend them. They are short, simple, and you don't have, there's action and adventure, but it's not super duper high stakes, really, most of the time. I mean, if you get attached to characters like I do, obviously, you're going to be like, oh my God, something's going to happen. But as far as I can say, I don't think that that's a real thing. You don't really ever have to worry for the most part. They seem like happily ever afters. But yeah, it's funny, turns history on its head, and essentially is just like, you know the story, but we made it fun. So enjoy. I like it. Very fun.
I think I would like to read that one.
I read those too. They're very good. I'm reading the third one next, which is My Calamity Jane. And obviously, that's about Calamity Jane.
Well, I read or listened to, I'm trying to do some self-help books too, because I am massively stressed at work and I got to figure some stuff out. But the first one was You're a Badass by Jen Sincero, which, did I talk about this one before?
I don't think you talk. No, I think you just
mentioned it to you guys. But anyway, I like this book so well. I listened to it twice and then bought a hard copy. She is the funniest self-help person I have ever listened to. She should be a stand-up comedian.
There's another one, Sarah Knight.
Is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was about, believing in yourself and quit doubting yourself and believing that the universe will provide, or whatever believe spiritually will provide for you, and going on that assumption that it's going to be there when you need it.
Yeah.
But God, she is hysterical the way she goes about talking about this. She was in a punk band at one point, and she talks about that. And when she was growing up, her and her sister had to answer the phone very businesslike. Like, this is Jen Sincero. You're, speaking. How can I help you? This type of stuff. And she's like, the first time she called somebody, a friend of hers, and they just said hello, she was like, does your mom know you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's little stories like that through the whole
Yeah.
thing. But it's a really, really uplifting, funny book. It's just basically believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Which is not what I really thought when I started it, but it turned out to be really good. And the second one I just started is called Dare to Lead by Brené Brown, I think. But I haven't got very far into it. And it's not near as funny, so I'm kind of a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
But she may have some good information there about how to interact with
Yeah.
employees. And stuff
Sarah
like
Knight
that.
has like 4 or 5 of them. And I think one of them is called How to Stop Giving a Bleep.
Yep. Oh my God.
Very funny. And they're all along that
See,
line.
I love books like it because
Yeah.
you learn, but it's also hysterical. And
Yeah.
Because I listened to it twice just because she's hilarious. I would recommend this one to anybody, even if you get nothing out of it but the funny stories.
See,
it
that's
is
like
worth it.
I read them just because they had snarky titles. Like I don't really read self-help books, but I enjoyed them, and I was like, dang, actually, this is like kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because I think Sarah Knight in a couple of hers taught, like, she goes into like meditation and like how it helped her, and I think it's that one. She talks about how she and her husband bought a house on like an island or something like that. They're fixing up the house, and she gets attacked by lizards and stuff.
That's
and she's
hilarious.
just like, it's just funny.
Jen talked about going to a yoga class,
Yeah.
and she's like, I don't know what I was thinking. My first day there, I was like, well, I had a cast on my arm, so I'll have to like take it easy on something. She's like, I paid, like, I can't remember how much she said, to spend time at this place and wimp out because
Yep.
she's like, I don't know what I was thinking.
That's
But it's
so
like,
funny.
it's the thing, the way you sabotage yourself sometimes. Go for it, do it. But the stories were hysterical. But you could relate to it really well. I like that one. But the other one, the Dare to Lead, I don't know. We'll see. Only got a couple chapters into that one, but it's not catching me like this other one. And Jen Sincero read it herself.
Yeah.
So the emphasis and the sarcasm came through so well.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Going to do my other one.
If you want to.
And then we'll
You don't
go
have
on to the, okay, it's not pre-apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic. It's apocalyptic because it's happening right now, literally with a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. And it is terrifying. It's not written the way I would have really liked because it's just a series of interviews about people that lived through this
What's
event.
it called?
Oh, yeah.
This 3-day event. The Attack. It's the one Ange was talking about.
Okay, The Attack, yeah.
By Kurt Schlitzer.
Isn't it Schlichter?
I don't know. Schleitzer.
I think Schlichter sounds, yeah.
Schlichter? Okay, that's probably... Anyway. It has to do with, like, the immigrants that have come in and the fact that Iran and Hamas hate us and the way that they caught us completely off guard by the way they did things. It was very brutal. It's very brutal. Very brutal. And the way it changed the world. Because the book takes place 5 years after it happened. And there's going back and reliving it. But it is kind of scary, and it makes you really see the possibilities.
Mhm.
So hopefully no one that really wants to pull off something like this would read this book because it's a blueprint.
I feel about that. I feel that way about a lot of like books and movies. That's like the White House Down and like all those things. I'm like, man, they just give people like
Yeah, it's like, this is what you do. You do this and this and this. And the people in charge have not read this book, so they're going to be surprised because that's,
it always stuff like that always makes me laugh because I'm like, man, somebody could watch this and be like, they're not expecting it because they've done a movie on it. Like,
yeah.
They think it's fake.
And they probably would. That's the scary
They
part.
would be, these words would come out. Is this freaking Hollywood?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, pretty much.
But anyway, I mean, it's worth a read. It really makes you think, but wow, we're idiots. We just think, I don't know. We think we're safe because
untouchable.
we're so far away from, so removed, but we're not anymore. We're not. The world's a smaller
really
place
not.
because of, international travel and stuff like that. You can get halfway around the world in 14 hours?
Yep, about like that.
Yeah, it really makes you think. But Americans at least banded together. And it wasn't the in the book, I mean, the police and the military were there, but it happened so fast that it's a pro-gun thing. Have your gun to protect yourself, basically, because they're the ones that kept people safe. I mean, at one point, how much do you want to know about this?
I'm probably not going to read it, yeah.
I'm probably not going to read it.
Zach?
No, go ahead. Even if you spoil stuff, I'll...
Okay, they start out attacking big places, like public places, and one of them was Pike Place Market, which I was like, yeah, if you're caught in there, you're dead. There's no way you're getting out. Because how would you get out? I couldn't even find an exit if I wanted to.
See, that's
it's
the
so
thing.
crowded.
You might be safe just because they won't know where to go. It's impossible to get around.
Well,
there.
I mean, if you
hide under one of those tables.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's anyway. That was one of them, but it was like all over and it was all at the same time. They had timed it like from East Coast time to West Coast time, so it all happened at exactly the same time.
Huh.
And then, of course, we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to protect these places after the first day. And of course, they were like suicide killers. They didn't expect to get out of this alive.
Yeah.
The next day, everybody was up protecting public places. They went to the homes.
Yeah.
And that was really brutal.
Yeah.
And then the third day, they attacked the infrastructure because then we were in the homes in the suburbs and and protecting people, and they went after like power grids and
How many people came over in this attack? It would have to be like tens of thousands.
They had been working on this.
Millions.
It was, and it was like probably maybe 10,000, but they had been training for years, and then with the open border, they just snuck in, and they went to their little sleeper areas, and they stayed put until they got the word, and then everybody. And they didn't know what everybody else was doing. They only knew that they were supposed to take out this target and keep killing people until they were killed. They were not to be taken alive. So, anyway, it's kind of scary and incredibly brutal and a perfect blueprint for. So,
that sounds like it.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. Because we would react, being caught off guard. We would react this way. Because if they're hitting all the big places after the day's over, the next morning, even then, that's where you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
What's our next target? Is it going to be this market or that market, whatever? This Walmart, or I don't know, it wasn't a Walmart, but, big place. And that's when everybody was there, and it was a lockdown for people to stay in their homes to keep them safe. That's where and they went into suburbs where most people don't have any kind of defense. And the police couldn't get there because they would bomb the police stations in the morning and then attack the people.
Huh.
It was very well planned.
Yeah. Huh.
Of course, we survived it and came back stronger.
We can dream.
Yeah, I think it would be scarier than that if it were something really.
Yeah.
I don't think people band together.
I don't think so.
Well, they had to, because it was like you either hook up with somebody else that has a gun and shoot back or die.
More people are like every man for himself kind of deal.
Well, there was some of that.
I think there's a lot more of that today than there used to be.
10 or 12 years ago, I think we would have had a better shot.
Yeah.
You're
not so much now.
When you're facing a threat to like an entire area, the ones that can protect are going to work together just to keep themselves alive, because numbers help.
I don't have that faith in humanity.
I hope so. I hope that's.
Let's hope we don't have to find out.
But I hope it never happens. Yeah, I hope it never happens.
Yeah, no.
But it is like an incredible. Oh, this is the plan.
Ick.
Yeah. It was like what happened in Israel all over the country at the same time.
Woof.
Yeah.
All right, I guess my turn?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I read a few books. I guess I'll start with the little short stories. First off, I read Legends and Lattes, and at the end of Legends and Lattes, there is a short story called Pages to Fill.
Yeah.
And it is about... Oh, crap, what is her name? Do you remember her name, Zach?
The main character?
The orcs.
No, it's been years since I read that book. Let me look.
Viv.
Yeah, it's Viv.
All right, so it's about Viv and her, gang of like adventurers that go
adventuring
and,
party.
you know, her gang of adventurers.
It's throwing up the gang signs.
Anyways, it's about them, and they're trying to catch some. I think she's a shapeshifter, and they go and check out this library, and it's how she like figures out that she's like in the books.
Oh, she finds her party adventures in the books.
No. They're trying to do research.
Oh, okay.
And like she goes with a little gnome, and they go to this library, and care if I just look around, and then I was like, yeah, you're fine, go ahead, I'm gonna go research what we need to research. And so she like looks around this library, and she just like gets so invested in these books. She is like,
isn't that what the second book is about?
No.
Like bookshops and book dust. Isn't that what it's about? Her being into books.
It's bookshops and
bone dust, whatever.
Well, I think this kind of takes place in between Bookshops and Bone Dust and Legends and Lattes.
Sure.
Okay, so like Bookshops and Bone Dust is like a prequel to Legends and Lattes, even though it came out second. And Pages to Fill is like a short story in between. Right? So she's invested in books in this library. And then they figure out where they need to go. So they go find the person they're hunting down. Like, I'm not going to really get into it, but that's basically what that story is. Like a little adventure with her little hunting party. I will not call it what Zach said now.
Whatever.
And then the other short story that I read by him is called Goblins in Greatcoats. And it was 25 pages. Short little story, but oh my God. He has just like this like feel good feel about his books, and I love them. So this one's about a little, I think she's a goblin. But she has this coat that I swear all of us would love to have. It's like literally made up of pockets.
Yep.
That's all it is. This is pockets.
I could never own that one because I would have it so full of stuff that I wouldn't be able to wear it.
Well, she did too.
Rocks.
She did too.
Mostly rocks. Yeah.
Like she shows up at this inn, and it's like it was raining, so she's covered in mud. And she shows up there, and she like doesn't talk, but they assume that she is like the constable or sheriff or whatever from this other town that they were sending in because there was a murder that took place. And she just goes in. Her something to eat, and they're like, what is happening? Why won't she? And she basically ends up explaining what happened. Like she figures it out, explains it, right? Goes on her way. Doesn't ask for anything, doesn't arrest anybody, nothing, you know. Yeah. But my favorite thing about it is she'll reach in her pockets to pull things out, or she'll like when she ate her dinner. When she got done, she put the spoon in her pocket. Like, she had so much silverware.
So she's like kind of got klepto.
Yeah. And like the barkeep person was like, usually, you know, you give the spoons back, and she just stares at him. And he's like, okay.
Amazing.
And then she leaves. And it's like, it's so cute. And I got it for free, which was even better.
That's always good.
All right. Do we want me to talk about one of my other books?
You can talk about one other book. That's fine.
Okay. So I read Legends and Latte. It's got, you know, the feel good of TJ Klune.
What'd you say this one was?
Legends and Lattes.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Anyways, it's about Viv, who is an orc. She decides she's going to open a coffee shop. And like this town that doesn't have a coffee shop, no one knows what coffee is. And she has this like magical stone that's supposed to help her, right? And she ends up getting like a succubus as her business partner. And this succubus is a misunderstood baby. And I love her. And then there's a, I can't remember what the guy is, but he builds stuff for her.
Yeah.
He's great. I don't know. It's just a really cute story. It's about her getting this coffee shop, making friends with people in the town. Some bad stuff happened that I don't want to give away, but I was very concerned at one point. And yeah, and it's just fantastic, and y'all should read it. Look at that. I'm not even giving away spoilers.
I just would like to say, welcome to the cozy community.
Yeah, I've read these two, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start another one. Yeah, I haven't gotten more than like an hour into it.
Well, we'll get you there.
It is a very cozy little fun book.
Let me read some more gory horror things to where I'm
books
like,
are just like so
read Kaiju
nice.
Battlefield Surgeon.
I'll need to
and
read
then go
some
back to like bookshops
dark
and Bone Dust.
stuff, and then I'll be like, okay. I read that one too, though.
Oh, you already read that one? Which
one
one did you think was better?
I love them both, and there's nothing better. And the epilogue on Bookshops and Bone Dust made me squeal.
Okay.
So.
Travis Baldtree said he likes Bookshops and Bone Dust better, but most people didn't. Should ask him if he wants to be on the podcast. He lives out in Spokane. He's not even that far away.
I don't know why you haven't.
That's a good question. I haven't yet. Not my job.
Anyways, somebody else can talk about a book. I'll save my last two.
All right.
I'm done.
I guess it's me. So my next book.
Yep.
I think, like I said, I've only got this one left. I've started another one though. The one I'm reading currently, I haven't finished yet, is the 5th Bobaverse book. Even though he said he wasn't going to write any more after the 3rd one, there are now 2 more books. If you haven't read the Bobaverse series, it is a fun series about basically you've got a guy who dies, spoiler alert, in like the first few pages. And he's resurrected essentially as a von Neumann probe, which is a spaceship that goes around and it can basically recreate itself, right? That's what it is. And this is pretty far into the series, book 5, obviously. There are many, many copies of him now, and everyone's a little bit different. But this one is dealing with, I don't know, it's just a bunch more Bob-type adventures that are going on. They're trying to figure out some faster than light travel. There's some thing where they're trying to save a bunch of, they call them dragons, but they're like giant hairless flying squirrels on a planet. There's some mystery where there's a bunch of civilizations that were there.
That long?
But they're gone now. Huh?
That long pause that you had just a minute ago where you were trying to figure out what you were going to say, I really thought that you just like disappeared, like cut off completely. I was like, what happened?
No.
Where'd he go?
Sometimes I have to think, and it's hard.
I feel that.
But I mean,
Same.
If you have read the Bobaverse books, they're very good. This is just like the other ones. I think this one's actually a little bit better than the previous 2, probably. But overall, they're just fun little books, and I'm almost done with this one. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to all finish up in the next, I don't know, I've got like very little of this book left. So I'll finish it today at some point. But yeah, no, this is a bunch of just like interconnected stories. All the Bobs are fun. You got some of your favorite Bobs coming back for this one. So it's overall, it's been really good. I hope he just keeps doing more and more stuff in this universe because it's a fun universe. And all the different Bobs are just great. And the non-Bobs are also pretty fun because you've got, from one of the previous books, you have one of those beaver people. Her name's Teresa. She's a Quinn. And she's in it a lot more. You've got an AI in it, which is pretty cool, that they met in the previous book. And then you've got also, I can't remember which Bob it is. Harold? Maybe? Anyway, his wife is in it. Her name's Bridget.
I am so confused.
What do you mean you're confused? Haven't you read the Bobaverse books?
No.
Oh, you guys have not read
I can't
these.
even find it. How did?
The first one is We Are Legion, We Are Bob.
What the heck are you
I have
even
talked
talking
about these several times before. I'm glad to know you guys don't listen.
Yeah,
They don't make sense.
Okay.
You said Bobaverse, and I really wondered if that's what you meant was the We Are Legion, We Are Bob.
Yeah, that's the first book. We Are Legion, We Are Bob.
What is a Bob?
It's a dude named Bob.
What is a Bob?
It's
okay, but apparently he's also Harold?
Okay. The way it works, let me just briefly explain this because I have definitely talked about this before.
That's what I don't understand.
Okay.
That makes no sense.
Hold up.
Well, he literally just said that. Her husband Harold is also a Bob.
He makes
what
copies
does that
of himself.
mean?
He
So
makes they're all Bob,
Bob,
but they have to have different names.
So they're Okay.
Yeah, because it's like, you would be like Bob 1, Bob 2, Bob 650.
So, why don't you just call them clones?
Because they call themselves Bobs in the book. They're all clones of Bob.
Okay.
Effectively. So what happens is...
I don't know why y'all expect me to remember books that y'all have talked about when I can't even remember books I've read.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, just read the Bobiverse books. I'm just talking about what it is. Like, I mean, Mallory over here will talk about some random fantasy book that's like 15 books in, and then it's like, I just don't even, like, pay too terribly much attention to it, because it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm not sorry about it. I'm not sorry about it.
It's just like, so this is...
I'm trying to suck everybody in with one of these books that they have to start the series in. Like, oh, this is crazy. What's going on here? Well, you got to start the series to find out.
It's like, well, this is book A, and I don't want to spoil
complete
too
chaos
much.
And just pick that one up.
It's like, it's random stuff.
Hey, I mean, we got to tell the people what we're reading.
I get you. That's why I'm saying, it's like, don't harsh my vibes, Ariel. Sheesh. Bobs. There's lots of
I'm
Bobs.
harshing them.
You should read the first book, and then you will understand everything I am talking about.
I can't. There's too many books and not enough
Well, this
time.
one's really good.
It's not
They're
on,
very fun.
It's not on Libby.
It's not on Libby?
No, I couldn't find
What,
it.
We Are Legion, We Are Bob? It is on Libby. What are you talking about?
Okay, then I spelled it wrong because it said no. Who wrote
What
it?
you talking about, Wills?
His name is... I don't remember.
We Are Legion.
Dennis
That's a
E.
weird
Taylor.
name. It's on
Okay.
King. No, it's not. It's not on King
How
County
Wow,
or
it's not
Did you
either.
Libby.
spell Legion? I'm having a moment.
Legion.
Okay. I was being dyslexic.
Okay, the only thing that came up for Dennis Taylor is winning interview answers.
That is not him.
Zach's a
No, I didn't figure.
Zach's a liar.
And then there's a Dennis Taylor.
Oh, I have that book in my Audible library.
What, We Are Legion, We Are Bob?
You're so silly.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, so there you go.
Yeah, I didn't find it either in Libby.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
Okay.
Libby either. You're right. Okay, no, there is one, but it's in not English. It's in French. So, if you want the French version, it's called Nous Sommes Nombreux. Nous Sommes Bob. There's a bunch of his books in here. Die Singular. They're all not in English. They're in German
That's
and
so
stuff.
funny.
Ich bin Will.
Oh, there's this guy I listen to every now and then on YouTube. He's from, I think it's Finland or Norway or something anyway. And he's really down to earth. And he puts his little comments about what he thinks about what's going on in the world. But anyway, he writes books. And I tried to find one of his books. I couldn't find any in English.
Yep.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that is. Also, you want to hear another bummer? This is going to date the podcast a little bit, but Maggie Smith just passed.
Oh, no.
I read
Yeah.
that. I didn't want to say it in the podcast, but
What?
yeah.
Okay, I'll ruin it.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
She's
I
80
refuse-
million
I
years
refuse to
old.
talk. I don't believe it. I
Oh, well,
don't
that
believe
that
it.
would do it.
I don't believe it. I refuse to accept it. So,
Time killed her.
So we can just
I'm
not talk about it because it's not true.
okay. I'm gonna cry.
It's really sad, isn't it?
That's not true. I
Why
refuse.
would you say that? Why would you tell me?
Okay, we'll just cut this
I hate
part out
you.
of the podcast.
I hate you.
Okay, anyway, that's
Was that your last
yeah,
book?
this is my last book, the Bobiverse. I mean, I'm reading one other one,
Oh.
but I haven't like hardly gotten anywhere in it. So
I clearly did not talk about enough books. I've got like 4 left. Okay.
we'll be quick.
Well,
We're already
we
at
have time
52
for
minutes. Talk about
Yeah.
one or two of them, or all of them real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say the Kaiju Preservation Society was one that I read. It was a book club book. Zach picked it. It was very funny, very nerdy, and there's a lot that happens in that. It's very sciencey, very fantastical, very fun.
It's a goofy
Highly recommend.
little book. Nothing serious.
Yeah. Then I read Argyle by Ellie Conway, and I talked a little. Did I talk about it in here? I don't really know. I know I've talked about it to people, though. It came out at the beginning of 2024, like January, And then the movie came out in February, which is insane to me. I thought that this book was going to be older because the movie just came out. And that is not the case at all. The book is good. I did give it 5 stars, but like I would really call it more like a 4.5 or like a 4.75. It wasn't bad. It was just like your typical spy novel. It was kind of out there because he was not a spy to begin with, and he was recruited because he saved a downed plane. And I think, was he in Thailand? I can't really remember what country he was in. He saved this group of people essentially by himself by tracking the people that stole. They were like drug cartels. They took the black box of the plane and turned it off so that it wouldn't transmit anymore. And he waited for them to go and then got the black box, turned it on, and then carried it with him to where they were going so that whoever was tracking them would be able to come and find them. And so essentially after that, he was recruited by the CIA. And he's kind of like, he's recruited because they know that he's not a mole, and there is a mole within this team on the CIA, and they're trying to figure out who the heck it is. And they're also hunting down Nazi treasures to try and beat a Russian dude to finding it first, so he becomes like the new president or whatever of Russia, and he's a very nasty dude, so they don't want that to happen. It's a fun book. It's like, if you're not into that stuff, you probably wouldn't like it.
Isn't that most things?
I liked it. It was good. I mean, well, yeah, but I don't know. I like, I'm into that stuff, but also not really. Like, it's not my cup of tea for reading anyway. So like, I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite book by any means.
Sure.
So anyway, yeah. Then I finished the Invisible Library series, like officially. I'm upset about it. It was a really good book. That one was called The Untold Story. And then I also wrapped up the Atlas 6 trilogy, the Atlas Complex. That one got 3 stars. That one got 3 stars. I don't know if it was just me or the book, but I could not read that one. It was kind of like Wolfsong. I almost didn't finish it. It took me 3 whole weeks to listen to it.
That's pretty bad.
At 1.4 speed. Yeah. I couldn't get into it, and I didn't really know why. Yeah, so that was my last one. Because the next one is Manhunt. So
my turn. Finish up my last 2. Okay. So I read Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is the prequel to Legends of Lattes, even though it came out after, which I think that's insane. I don't like it. Anyways, it's about Viv again, and she gets hurt in like an adventure. So she has to go to this town and like stay there for a few weeks to recoup. And she ends up meeting the owner of a bookshop. She falls in love with the books. They end up fighting a baddie. There's a guy who's a skeleton in a bag, and I love him. And he's the best. You would love him, Mallory. You would just think he's the sweetest little baby. And then there's this baby griffin thing, but imagine pug griffin, because that's how I imagine it.
I'm in.
And its name is, I want to say like pork chop, pot roast. Pot roast is his name. Yeah.
That's so cute.
It's freaking adorable. It's cutest little books. I love them. Y'all need to read them. Okay. The other one I read is one that Zach actually suggested to me, and it's not as bad as Piranesi.
Oh my God.
I will say
she
that.
didn't like another book I suggested.
It's Night of the Mannequins. I read that one.
What?
I read it. It's not bad, but the whole time I'm reading it, I'm like, you're going to have to bleep me out, but I'm like, what the
I mean, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Do mannequins come to life?
Well,
It's okay. It's about a teenage boy who wants to play a trick. Like, him and his friends want to play a trick on their friend who works at a movie theater, right? Because they got in trouble at the movie theater by her boss. So they bring a mannequin into the movie theater and set it down like it's a paying customer. And they think when they come in, it's going to startle them and it'll be funny. That's the whole thing. He thinks he sees the mannequin get up and walk out of the theater. So he's convinced that this thing is sentient. All right. And then the girl who works at the movie theater ends up getting plowed through by a semi truck. Like it goes through her house and kills her and her dogs and her mom and her like sibling. So he's the main boy, the one who's playing with the mannequin, believes that now Manny, the mannequin, is out to get them all. And he needs to kill his friends and then himself to save their families.
Yeah.
I have 5 mannequins in the closet right now.
Okay, like and it gets worse. It gets worse because he believes that the mannequin is going around eating fertilizer.
Yeah.
And now it is kaiju sized and it's hiding in the lake.
Because the lake is slightly higher. He thinks.
Yes. Yes.
This is the same guy that wrote The Only Good Indians.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I don't think I read that one either.
Yeah, you did. No, you didn't.
Oh,
no, you
didn't.
She was like, I'm not reading it. Well, you know what? You saved yourself some time. Because
No,
that one was also... Like,
that one was good.
I really like them, though. They're different.
It wasn't... No!
They're different.
No,
Yeah.
they are not good.
Yeah.
They are not good.
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't call them horror, though.
No. They're not horror. They're like, you're reading it and you're like, these people are just batshit insane.
Is it like one of the stupid sci-fi movies just in a book?
Yes!
I don't know. I probably would like it then.
Yeah.
I used to love to watch those. They were so ridiculously stupid.
They're fun.
Yes. I grouched about this book. So
I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
I went in detail telling 2 people about this book, and I was like, I don't even understand.
I told you it was about this.
Why was this ripped?
Yeah. Yeah, this was the one that you were sick, so we did the book chat.
Yeah.
While I was on vacation.
I read it, and I don't even know. Anyways, those are my 2. That's it. Stupid books.
I thought it was a fun book.
Yeah, this was like...
See, this is why I don't take Zach's suggestions. I swear, out of all the ones he's suggested, I've like 2.
So should I not turn one of the mannequins into Mothman?
No, turn it into Mothman. Oh my God. Please let it come sentient.
I think you're going into these books with the wrong mindset. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, it's funny.
No,
I think so
I
too.
went into it thinking, okay, this is some stupid fever dream. And it wasn't bad. And I think that's why I didn't hate it. But like...
Wasn't your favorite.
What's the point?
Fun. Crazy.
It's not fun, though. It's just like this is a stupid child. Oh, it turns out, spoiler alert, if y'all are going to read this, don't listen to this part.
I was going to read it. Here.
Okay, then I want... Okay,
don't tell.
Anyway.
Well.
So dumb.
Personally, I think this month was kind of a bummer for reads for me. Like, I really think I burnt myself out on big books. I don't think that I am allowed to read any more books for the year that are like...
Chunky.
More than 10 hours.
Well, aren't we doing House of Leaves later?
Well, I mean...
If we better not, and not this year anytime soon.
We should do it for the end of the year.
It's going to be like an end of next year thing.
We're doing it this year.
No, I won't do it.
We're doing it for the end of the year.
You guys can do it without
That's
me.
what I'm saying, yeah.
I'll just sit
there.
there.
So I'm doing it for my work book club, and we've decided it's going to be November through January, so we can talk about it in February. It's a chunky book. And it's hard.
We have a 100th episode coming up soon, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't we? Should we do something special for our 100th
20
episode?
episodes from now.
Yeah.
We still got some time.
Well, I know, but sometimes it takes us.
Okay, we got 4 or 5 months.
Wow,
It'll be, I think, February or January. One of those two.
Something like that.
So, yeah. We should do something big for that.
Be thinking.
Yep. Okay. Well, do we have any other final thoughts?
Yep.
No thoughts.
Okay.
Check out my Goodreads for more good reads. The Ariel won't like.
Oh, yeah. He just...
Don't.
He just put up a profile picture, too. You're welcome.
So did I. And Zach, you need to go look at my profile picture because that's how I feel about you right now. Go look at it.
I'm scared. Okay. Okay. Our next episode, we're going to do Ariel's deep dive pick, Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, continue. Yeah.
Then I think we're going to have a surprise guest. I think. We might have to shuffle it around a little bit.
We need to contact our surprise guest.
Yeah, yeah. And then we're going to have a Halloween episode. We don't know if we're going to nonfiction or not, so...
We're going to Candy,
surprise again. And that's all we have for now, because we have a little bit of shuffling to do. We might not, we don't know. So That's all you get for now. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's time for us to sign off, but before we go, only the best libraries have librarians who don't shush you.
Just possess you.